हेलो एवरीवन, होप यू आर डूइंग गुड। आई एम मयंक सिंघल, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। इस वीडियो में हमारे साथ हैं पार्थ मुत्रेजा। ही इज़ करंटली परस्यूइंग एमबीए फ्रॉम आईआईटी बॉम्बे। तो आज हम उनसे डिस्कस करेंगे अबाउट कैट प्रिपरेशन, हाउ वी गॉट एडमिशन इनटू आईआईटी बॉम्बे एंड मच मोर। ये वीडियो बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव होने वाली है, प्लीज़ वीडियो को अंत तक ज़रूर देखिएगा। सो पहले पार्थ का एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन लेते हैं एंड देन वीडियो स्टार्ट करते हैं। हेलो पार्थ, हाउ आर यू?
I'm good, Mayank. How are you?
आई एम ऑल्सो फाइन। सो वेलकम टू द चैनल पार्थ। सो
So
पार्थ,
hi,
वीडियो
Mayank.
स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन दे दीजिए।
Yeah. So my name is Parth. So I have done my undergraduation from Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering in the computer science domain, and I passed out in 2021. Post that, I worked in Tata Consultancy Services as a system engineer for a duration of 10 months, wherein I handled a financial institution and I was working in database management. Post that, I joined IIT Bombay for a general management course. So
Okay.
I'm almost done with my first year of uh, MBA at IIT Bombay, and now I'll be joining as an intern in Marico in April.
Okay, good. So चलो बात, let's start the video. So firstly आप पूरा process बताएंगे, like everybody knows like CAT तो you need for MBA, but after that CAT उसका क्या process होता है?
So once you are once the percentiles are out, post that there would be a PI round. So in PI round, there are buddies assigned to each and every person who is there. So all the shortlisted candidates that are there would be assigned a PI who would be assisting them in terms of preparation, how to prepare for the interviews, and about then after that, then there will be a PI round where there would be panelists and they would be shortlisting based on the criteria that they have in mind. And once the PI rounds are done, the shortlist come out, and post that the wait lists are there and the candidates get in. So there is no GD or VAT in the process.
Okay. So next, like from where, talking about the CAT, so from where you prepared for the CAT? Which
So
is
I started I started preparing for CAT in my third year of undergraduation. So I joined Time Institute for preparation offline mode in CP. So Connaught Place, that is Connaught Place, and wherein I had gone for classes, and they taught some basic concepts about time, speed, distance. Then we had logarithm ratios. So just to have a brief background of how to go about preparation. So joined these institute, but I gave CAT for once I was in the fourth year, but the first attempt did not go as well, and I didn't get good colleges that I wanted. So I thought of working for about 10 months because I had a very good company to work in, system engineer in TCS. So I worked there, and then I got to understand the industry whereabouts also, like how the IT organizations function, and I was able to understand the corporate setting. But even though it was in a virtual setting, I was able to understand the ecosystem that was there in the corporate. So yeah, I after that I gave CAT. So my strategy for this attempt was that even though I had a good concept build up, but I was not able to practice a lot during my undergraduation. So in this attempt I actually tried giving more emphasis on attempting more questions. How to those questions? I went on by practicing more questions. So I divided my particular day into three parts. So in my first attempt, I used to only solve a particular question. Like you used to prepare for one section each and every day, and then on each and every day I used to only prepare for one particular section. So after in this way, in this attempt I tried to do all the sections in one day. So in the morning I used to do English. So English I used to read articles and post that. Then in the afternoon I used to do DLR, and at night I used to practice about 30 questions each for quant. So I was able to score about 98.46 percentile in CAT. Yeah.
any books you followed for the CAT preparation?
I means I mostly use the time material that was given. The time booklets were enough for preparing for CAT, and also there are a lot of free courses or free the resources that are mentioned that are available on internet, like Crack you also provides a lot of free resources wherein you can practice random questions that are there. Also, then there is 2IM that are there, questions, very random questions on each and every subject. So what I realized was that I was able to solve questions in quant, but there was this time constraint. So to solve this time constraint, I initially started with building up my basic concepts. Post that, I started solving these questions in a stipulated time frame. So that helped me because CAT is an exam wherein you can solve the questions if you're given an entire day. But if you want to solve that question in a stipulated time frame, you need to have a particular mindset or strategy which you need to have. So to build up that strategy, I actually try to set a timer for that. Yeah.
सो लाइक आपने कैट की प्रिपरेशन किया, सो एनी टिप जो आप हमारी ऑडियंस को देना चाहेंगे विच वुड हेल्प देम?
So the tip for cat is that first you need to understand your weak points. So you cannot go about by leaving these weak points. So how to overcome these weak points is that try to struggle while solving questions. Just don't go to the solution directly. Understand the question, what it is trying to say. Once you're not able to do the question, okay, leave it for a day, do it the next day. But try to have a built-in concept wherein you can try to solve the questions, because once you have got the crux of the concept, you will be able to solve multiple questions based on that concept. So I would say that don't give up in initial preparation. Try to slog in hours initially so that you are able to clear up basic concepts. CAT is not an exam of rote learning, so if you are going by shortcuts, it won't work. Once you are done with the basics, it is mostly about application. So if you have a core knowledge of a particular basic concept, you will be able to apply those basic concepts into other concepts as well. So in if you're learning quant, like if you have PNC, if you're learning PNC, so you can use PNC in DRRs also. So it is that if you have this core concept built up, so you will be able to solve it. So it is that keep your basics strong and practice daily. Don't leave it for the later time.
एंड आफ्टर कैट व्हाट प्रोसेस वाज फॉलोड? अब उस पर थोड़ा बात करते हैं. So after CAT, you got the percentile. Then how did you got your admission into IIT Bombay?
Okay, so after CAT, so the results were announced after about 1 month once the CAT exam was done. So after that, the different colleges results came. So I had calls from SPGen, I had calls from MDI, I had calls from IMT, I had from CAPS. Also, I had calls from Rohtak. Also, I had calls and IIT Bombay, different IITs. I had Madras, all the IITs, IIT Delhi also. So these calls were there, but my priority order was that I wanted to uh, have a good opportunity in these top 10 B schools. So I had MDI, SPGen, and IIT Bombay as my first priority. If any one of them I get, so I had these interviews initially, and I thought that this was my best call, so I went with this.
Okay. So was there any interview round?
Yeah, I had interview rounds for different colleges. There were different criterias or uh, different rounds. So for SPGen, there were, I think I remember, two rounds. So one was a group round, and second was some related to some I think core values or what. So SPGen is built on that core values principle. So that was about the second round. And in CAPS, as I remember, there was only this PI round wherein we had uh, we had to give an interview. I also had most of the CAP calls, but I chose IIT Bombay because it had a very better ranking and better batch size. So my reason for choosing IIT Bombay was that it has a very small batch size. So you'll have a better opportunity in terms of networking with people who are there. So MBA is all about networking. So if you want to have peer-to-peer learning and you want yourself to have a different identity, so you need to have a batch size wherein you can be identified. So IIT Bombay ecosystem provided me this opportunity, and I think it is going on well, and I really believe my uh, means whatever decision I took was in the right direction.
Okay. So was there was no interview round in the IIT Bombay?
there was a interview round for IIT Bombay. There was a PI round for IIT Bombay. So first we get the PI shortlist. Once that is done, you'll be given interview slot, and there will be a panelist. So in my panel there were three panelists. So there were two alums from our college and one there was a professor. So they would be asking you questions based on the domain that is there and what you have worked on, some HR related questions such as introduce yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, or if you have worked in a particular organization. So they will be asking what hurdles or hardships that you faced during your work and how are you able to solve that question. So it is not that you will require a lot of preparation for the particular interview. It is that you need to have a life story. So if you have this life story, you will be able to substantiate it with a lot of instances that are there. So I what my interview strategy was that I first collated all my life experiences in a particular Word document. So once that was done, I was able to solve the HR questions that are mostly asked, like introduce yourself, strengths and weaknesses, uh, and why did you do MBA after working in IT sector. So once I collated this, I chose some points that were related to these questions, and I was able to frame them. And yeah, it actually helped me a lot. And I also try to speak these answers in front of the mirror, because once you're talking, so my interview was in virtual mode, so if you're talking, so your eyes should be on the camera that is there in the laptop, because it feels like you're reading something. So that is, you have to acclimatize to different settings that are there. It was a new setting for all the candidates that were there, but it was a very streamlined process if I talk about the IIT Bombay interview process. Yeah.
Like in the resume, they asked basically about the projects, the internships, the work did you did.
Yeah, so first they asked me about introduce myself, so I introduced myself. Suppose that they asked me about my final year project. So I had done a project on machine learning, so it was related to pneumonia detection, so using DWCNN, depth by CNN. So they asked me about CNN, what is CNN, why did you use this particular algorithm or particular algorithm in this. So I was asked these basic questions, and I was also asked about some questions. What hurdles did I face in the team that I was working? So this was not individually published. The research paper, I had four other person and one professor that was there. So they asked me that what were the hurdles that you faced while doing this. So it was that if you know what you have done, so it won't be a difficulty in that. If you are trying to cook up stories, you will be stuck in between while you're articulating your points. Also, I was asked about my work that I had done in TCS. So database management, joins, DBMS, like all the basic DBMS like joins, inner join, outer join, and about the schemas that were there, DBMS schemas. I was not asked about the schemas, how to make a schema, but I was asked in general what are these, and I was also asked about the current technologies that were there, like AI, ML. So I was asked about these. How do you? So I was also asked about the scope of my particular research paper. So how can I implement this research paper? So it was very conversational driven. So you not feel that uh, like they are asking these questions and you have to just for the sake of answering them. It was like you're talking to a particular person and normal friend sort of, and you have to answer those questions. So it wasn't that big a hurdle. So it isn't a stress driven interview. It is just they want to know about you, and they think and they want to know that if you're capable enough of joining this institute and making the institute proud. Yeah.
Okay. So any tips for making the resume?
Resume for a particular interview after undergraduation. Are you talking about that?
Yeah, for the MBA,
Or
for the MBA in any institution.
that resume, I think, would be that resume isn't required at the moment. Once before after you are done with your cat, it would be required before your summer internships. So I think that won't be an issue as of now. But for before you join a particular institution, there are some questions that are given about yourself. So that questions also matter uh, while you are in an interview. So we in SJMSOM IIT Bombay interview, before the interview we had 3 to 4 questions that we had to write about. So in the interview also they asked me these questions, that how could I relate to this. So what is your biggest achievement? So it should be something that is not normal achievement. It should be something that is out of box, something that help you inculcate qualities and help you build upon yourself. So they asked me questions about that also. So yeah, it is that uh, interview is all about your life story. CAT preparation is only 50% of your final result that you get. So 50% is CAT preparation, CAT results is included in 50%, and 50% is about the interview that you are. So both are equally important. And yeah, so if you are good to go in both of them, so you get into a college that you dream of.
Okay. So, was there any co-curricular asked in the interview?
So I also play an Indian instrument called as sarod. So it is a very unique instrument, and people have not heard of it. So I was asked questions that how that instrument helped me in my private and public life. So I said it helped me calm my nerves, because once you play these instruments, it actually is very soothing. So I was able to mention that. And also I was asked about, I also love traveling. So I also told them that I I went to the solo trip. So they asked me what are the prerequisites of solo trip. So I told them that how to create your brochure or particular itinerary for a particular solo trip. So they want to, if they're asking a questions, don't think that they will stop at that moment. They will ask you questions 2 to 3 levels deep. So if you're trying to bluff with saying that you love something and you don't love it in entirety, so they'll not leave you. So they ask you 2 to 3 levels deep questions. So be prepared for that. And yeah, be honest. Honesty is also, they also check that you, if you're honest or not. So honesty is also very important while you are presenting your views in front of the panel.
Okay. So, from almost 1 year, you are studying in IIT Bombay. So, how is the environment in IIT Bombay?
So, so IIT Bombay, there is this motto which is known as "fight as a batch." So, we all the people are very close knit in terms of what we are doing. So, we share a lot of things with each other, help in the learning cycles, and also the IIT ecosystem provides you with different sporting opportunities. Like there are very good facilities, infrastructure. So, you have, so in my hostel only I have a gym, so I go to gym daily. And also we have very good sporting facilities. We have good cricket grounds, then indoor courts. So it's very good. Also, you also get to network with the engineers that are present here. So there is a sign incubation center here. So wherein there are a lot of entrepreneurs that have generated from here. So the MBA people who are pursuing MBA can collaborate with engineering students from different domains, and then come up with a particular startup idea that they have. So what is different about IIT Bombay is that you have a lot of people from different domains. So have people masters, PhD, BTech, then you have MBA. So you can collaborate with them, build up your concepts about something, and then have an end product that is fruitful. So no other MBA B school provides such an opportunity. So I'm very grateful that I got this opportunity, and I think I've been able to leverage it. Yeah.
Okay. And talking about placements, if you have any idea.
Yeah, the placements are very decent here. Uh, like there are companies that come for operations, IT, marketing, finance, strategy, and consulting. So all the companies come. There is a stigma that is attached that this is an operations B school, but there are a lot of companies. Once I came into this college, I also will be interning as a IT intern in Marico very soon. So there isn't, once you, if you have this particular resume that is suited to the profile that they want, so they'll be taking you. So there are a lot of opportunities, lot of companies that provide roles that are other than operations. So you'll be getting an opportunity in terms of that. So it won't be that big a hurdle. And always also there is a batch advantage. So the people get placed very easily. So it isn't that big an issue also. So yeah, there are perks of having a small batch size than peer-to-peer learning.
Okay, so any last tip path you want to mention to our audience who is preparing for CAT and want to get admission into MBA?
Yeah, yeah. So the preparation tips that I would like to give to the CAT aspirants is that don't jump into solving questions initially. Try to build up on your basic concepts. So I would like to refer some online resources, free online resources that you can refer. For English, I would say for BRC, I'll say that there is a Bharat curated reading list that is available online. So you for building up your reading habit about different genres that are there, like philosophy, biology, and then there is science in general. So there are a lot of articles of each genre. So you can read that, try to inculcate a reading habit. So what is important about BRC is that if you have a good reading habit, you will be able to solve the entire paper, whether it be a small RC or a very long RC. So it's all about loving what you're doing and loving the reading that you're doing. So you'll be able to. In BRC, I'll recommend that people who are solving BRC go with the elimination strategy. That is, try to eliminate all the options, and the option that you're left with is the option that you should go forward with. And for DLR, I would say that try to practice 3 to 4 sets. So there, for DLR, I once I was done with the basic concepts, I tried this playlist called as Anastasius Shankar. So this is available on YouTube. You can type, you'll get a YouTube entire 200. I just remember, I think 200 DLR sets were there, and it was very very helpful for me. So I had this fear for DLR initially. In first attempt, it did not go well. So second attempt, I practiced about 4 to 5 sets daily. So I think I was able to overcome those fear with solving this. It's very very close to CAT, I will tell you. So for DLR also, it's very important to solve the previous year questions and have a, I'll say, a, so DLR, what is the problem is that you might have ego issues with DLR. So if you're on a particular set, you will be sitting for that because you think that this will be done, it will happen, but that is a trap for you. So try to uh, get over that particular set after I think 8 to 10 minutes and go to another set. Come back to that set if you're not able to solve any other set. So don't go with ego issues in DLR. For quant, I would say that for quant there is that you have to practice. So in that you have to uh, once you're done with solving the basic questions from each topic, try to solve a mixed bag of questions. So for mixed bag of questions, there are a lot of resources that are available. So solve previous year questions, and I would say that solve these questions once you are done with basics. Solve these questions in stipulated time frame. It will be very helpful. Start initially in 1 month, start with 10 questions daily, then go to 20, then 30. So try to increase your amp up the number of questions that you're doing. Once you're done with that, I think it would be a very smooth journey for you in the last phases. And also, don't hesitate or don't be very toned down by the mock score results that you get because it is very fluctuating and so try to, if you feel that a lot of your scores are fluctuating, go back to the previous year papers because the exam setters have a different mindset when they are solving, for particularly for VARC. So if you think that you're scoring very fluctuating marks in VRC, go back to the previous year questions, try to understand the mindset of how they're solving and see that does your mindset, your answer align with the mindset of the of the paper setter. So that will give you immense amount of confidence. So yeah, if you are consistent up throughout your preparation, you are good to go. And if you are after your results, then interview is all about knowing about yourself and contemplating what things that you have done in life. So once all of that this is done, you're sorted for the entire process.
Thank you so much, Parth, for taking out time and addressing our audience, and all the best for the
uh,
future.
yeah, yeah, thank you, Mayank.
Thank you so much, Parth.
So can you
If you like the video, do hit the like button and share this video among your friends in college groups. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, link in the description. Till then, bye everyone. See you in the next video.